out of the ring. Wrestler slam.
What's up, guys? I finally got up my motivation. I wasn't even gonna make a video possibly this week, but you know what? I'm feeling good now. So this video, as obvious from the title, is the things I like about living in Japan. I'm not necessarily stealing the idea, but I'm using the idea that I got from my friend Jim over at Kid Shoryuken. Very good channel, good friend of mine, so please check him out. I've actually mentioned him before, and he's mentioned me on his channel, so you know, good stuff. So he actually did this 6 months ago, but I'm just now getting around to it. But what I like about living in Japan, and so I thought of, you know, 5 key points that would be good for this video, so I'm gonna use those. So the first thing I love about being in Japan is the level of safety that you can experience here. It's not the safest country in the world, but it is, I believe, top 10. And knowing me, I'm gonna put a chart up to verify that. I believe it's number 9, but it may not be. And so for that reason, I shouldn't have even said a number. But I never really fear for my life here. Granted, there are some, especially when like Japanese teenagers get in big groups, they start feeling really brave. But that really happens in areas with a lot of foreigners. I mean, there's certain dangerous parts of Tokyo and Osaka. Some people try to fight me sometimes. And in Yokosuka, I know people have gotten knocked out there. There are fights occasionally.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
But usually that's when, like, especially Yokosuka, that's right outside the Navy base. That's where there's a lot of foreigners, so that's a big reason for those issues. So number 2, I didn't write down this list, so I'm gonna have to try to remember. Convenience. So, and this can really be summarized by talking about the convenience stores. Now, obviously America has convenience stores too, but if you've been to a convenience store, particularly, they call it 7-Eleven, it's actually not 7-Eleven. I'll put the real name of it up on the screen, but which also kind of can be kind of frustrating because it becomes a little bit too easy to live in Japan because you can buy anything you need at a 7-Eleven. You can live out of that. So sometimes I'll be traveling around Japan to different areas and I'll be eating the same exact food, but that's a testament to the level of convenience. You know, you can get all your grocery shopping done at a place in America that's known for nothing more than Slurpees and dirty bathrooms. And you know, on top of the convenience stores, you know, the local transit's amazing. I haven't owned a car or had a license since I've lived here, and I get around just fine. And you know, most anything you need, you can need every day is walking distance. Well, not everything, literally everything you need on a regular day is walking distance. And things you need on those off days, you know, you can go to a Homes or a Costco. That's normally still walking distance, you just can't be lazy. Now, number 3. Now this one may seem kind of silly, and it's gonna kind of out myself as somebody that doesn't always make the best decisions, but you can drink alcohol in public, and you can walk around drinking. And this really, it saves a lot of money because I hate drinking in my apartment, and but I also hate I love spending too much money at bars, but you know, here in my late 20s, I feel like I shouldn't be doing that anymore, at least all the time. So I can actually, you know, just walk around with a beer or my personal favorite, Strong Zeros, and feel like I'm part of the world as opposed to a hermit inside my little apartment. Now, number 4 is taking me a while to remember. Alright, so number 4 is nightlife. There is a large variety of nightlife in Japan. I mean, that's not unique to Japan, but in particular, I do love that about Japan. And like I was saying, how you can walk around drinking, you know, you can spend an entire night just walking around Tokyo and having a great time, you know, with just walking around with a beer in your hand. And that is great for somebody like me that's kind of in a transition period. I've been out of the Navy for about 2 years now, well, 1.5 years. And my main incomes are from my disability and from my BAH I get through the GI Bill through the Navy for my school. So I can't always go around spending a lot of money, but even if you don't, there's always something to do. And there's just the fact that Japan, particularly Tokyo, Osaka, the big cities, well, yeah, we'll stick to Tokyo and Osaka. There's so much to do crammed into a small area that it's the walking around, just looking at everything, just going to all these different variety of bars and different stores and everything is just very exciting. And that's a big plus for me, because every time I go back to America, it feels like everything shuts down at a certain point. Like I know clubs and everything usually shut down at around 2 or 3. In Tokyo, you can just keep going, or not. In Japan, you can just keep going. And there's just really just always something to do, and I get bored very easily, so that's a big plus for me. Now, number 5. This is going to be kind of sentimental.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
But I've lived in Japan for a long time. I didn't really like the places I lived growing up, so for me, it's home. So Japan is my home, and that's another big reason why I like to be in Japan. And that's why I intend on at least staying here for, you know, a few more years. I don't know what life's going to bring me, but no one really does, so.
Your future hasn't been written yet. No one's has. Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one.
You know, we just go with the flow. But I think that's enough for this video. So as always, if you like my video, subscribe. If you like my music, buy it. And if you hate me, tell everybody. Out.
Pizza boy pizza. Pizza for pizza. Pizza Bonita.